Orla, very good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, very well indeed. Thanks for talking to us.
Pleasure.
Is that right? So the police have basically banned anybody from going outside the Bell Hotel to demonstrate in any way, shape or form. Is that right?
To be fair, this is the first I've heard of it. We had a planned demonstration this evening,
Right.
which has been planned for the past week. The problem is that these demonstrations have been taken over by a political agenda, by left and right, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
This is not anything, this is not a political fight. This is not between left and right. At the centre of these protests are local people who are out demonstrating about the safety of the children in the area and the women in our community. This has never been about left, right, racism, not racism. This has been a media storm and a political storm has been created from the good of a local community just wanting their children and their women to be safe on the street.
Yeah.
So now we have a scenario where we have injunctions in place, we have arrests, we have people coming in from outside the area to make their points of view known, and to accuse us of all sorts of things where we're just local people who just want to say, we want our children to be safe.
Right.
And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course there isn't. I mean, only yesterday, the Chief Constable of Essex Police, BJ Harrington, said this about how it was everybody's right to actually protest.
Force initially said that they didn't bring anyone to the hotel, but your colleague seems to suggest that that had happened after footage emerged. Can you set the record straight then? Was Stuart wrong when he said that?
Under the law of this country as it stands, people have the freedom to assembly and to freedom of speech.
So your officers did bring people towards that hotel?
Listen to my answer. That is there is a duty upon policing to allow people to exercise their rights of assembly and protest. That's a right of this country under the Human Rights Act. People came to that of their own volition. They walked up to that protest in order to ensure that we understand the threat, manage and deal with the risks and the issues. As we did outside the hotel, as we did in the high street, we had officers there and they would have walked alongside to make sure that they understand, can intervene and prevent and detect crime. That's what happened, that's what the photos show, and that's what we did.
So according to him, everybody has the right to lawful assembly, as you do, Orla, and as the local people there do, except you don't, because he's just taken it away.
Well, he's taken it away. And my view would be, Mike, why are demonstrators coming from outside our town into our town to antagonise us and call us all sorts of names when all we are doing is saying, wait a minute, council and the government, we have a hotel here that is packed full of illegal migrants. We don't know who they are, we don't know where they've come from, and that hotel is surrounded by 4 schools. So all we're saying is we are not comfortable as tax-paying locals having our children and our women walk on the street. We want you to do something about this.
Right.
And then suddenly we have trainloads of people coming from anti-racist groups. When did this become about race? It's not about race at all. They're coming into our town, causing trouble, antagonising the situation, and now we are being told we can't continue our protests.
Right. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Absolutely ridiculous.
As far as you're aware, are the migrants still in the hotel then?
Yes, they are, as far as we're aware. There was a lot of speculation that they had been moved to Canary Wharf. I don't think that's the case. As far as we're aware, they are still in the hotel. And our view as a local community is that we will still protest peacefully, of course. This evening we had intended to go to the Bell Hotel and then walk down to the council offices, which are at the other end of town, where there's a council meeting at 7, to say to the council, what are you doing about this problem? You are elected members of our council. You should be protecting the people of Epping and doing something about this situation. Why aren't you? And that's the question we're asking, and that's all we've ever asked.
Right, and so nobody's communicated to you as one of the organisers of the protest, which I think you are. Nobody's communicated to you that you might not be able to do it. It says this order is going to be put in this afternoon, which will cover, it doesn't specifically say the Bell Hotel, but it says an area including the town centre, transport hubs and networks such as the tube station from 2 p.m. until 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, I haven't heard that, and nobody that I know or within the the group of demonstrators who are all local mums and dads. None of us have heard that, so that's news to me.
Right. And if it is the case that they say you can't demonstrate, what will you do?
I'll have to speak to everybody else. I'm obviously not the leader.
Right.
I'm just one of many, many concerned residents. I'll have to speak to the others and see what they think. I think that to go on TV yesterday as the chief constable and say that it's everybody's right to demonstrate, and then the very next day take away that right from the local residents of the town, is absolutely outrageous. So I'm not sure what to say on that, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly right. And I mean, is your hope, or your aim at least, to have the migrants removed from that hotel and made to move somewhere else?
Yes, but the thing is, you know, Mike, my view has always been that we have these migrants in this hotel, and yes, they pose, in our opinion, they pose a threat to the local people. Now, if we're proved otherwise, then that's a different story. But ultimately, we don't know who they are. So they pose a threat to us. Yes, we want them out of our town. Yes, we want them out of that hotel and away from the children. But the question is, where are they going to go?
Right.
They're only going to become somebody else's problem in
problem,
another town
Yeah.
and put somebody else's family at risk. So my question has always been to the government, what is your plan? You know, it's unsustainable. You can't keep bringing people into this country with nowhere to put them and putting people at risk, your own citizens and the children of this country.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unsustainable, and there has to be a plan.
And we spoke to another mother just the other day who was at the demo on Monday, I think it was, and she said, I said, what would you say to Keir Starmer? And she said, just tell him we wanted to come and talk to us, you know, come and see what we're dealing with here. Yvette Cooper the same, come down, talk to the local people, find out why they're upset, find out what their concerns are, and do something about it. But he seems convinced to just keep his head buried in the sand.
But Mike, not just that, and with all due respect to our Conservative Council, they have not come and asked us. You know, they've stood up in Parliament or they've gone onto radio shows and talk shows and said, oh, you know, we want the Bell Hotel, you know, we want it closed down, blah, blah, blah. But none of them have been at these demonstrations with us. None of them have stood side by side. None of them have come and talked to the people of the community, and they are elected representation or representatives of the community of Epping Forest. So why haven't they come and spoken to us and taken our message to the government?
Yeah.
So there is fault on all parts here. The only people, in my opinion, that aren't at fault are the innocent victims of sexual crime within these towns and villages. They're the ones who are being put at risk, and nobody seems to be doing anything about it.
Yeah.
That is wrong on every level.
Yeah, of course. A quick text here, which is correcting what I've said, from Ellie, who says, the order says this is to stop anyone going to Epping for bad intent, not to stop the demo altogether.
There you go.
Please tell
so
Orla,
then we will carry on as planned.
Please tell Orla to make sure the message gets out that it's still on. So that may be true. I don't know. All I'm seeing is that they're saying maybe they're trying to stop the lefties from coming into the town again. And that
my question is, and I hate the expression the lefties, because again, it makes it about left and right. But why are they coming, Mike?
Yeah.
Why are they coming? To do what? How can anybody come and protest and stand in front of a group of parents, mainly mothers, and say, we do not think that you are right? How can we not be right? All we're doing is protecting children and saying we will not stand for our 13 and 14-year-old girls in uniform to be sexually harassed and abused.
Yeah. It seems a very reasonable.
No one can argue with that.
Seems a very reasonable aim, doesn't it? Orla, well, listen, good luck with it. Hopefully it all goes ahead tonight. And thank you very much indeed for talking to us. Orla Minihane there, Reform candidate for Epping, saying it's just all about the parents, it's all about the kids. They just want to be able to make their thoughts known. If you're in Epping, we'd love to hear from you, obviously. Give us a call, 0344 499 1000. It's a bit unclear at the moment whether the police are trying to stop the demo or whether they're trying to stop anyone who's not involved in the demo from getting to the demo, which if that's true, that's a complete reversal of policy then from the same police force that actually escorted people to it just a few days ago and who said they didn't do anything wrong. Extraordinary. This is the home of common sense.